A population of nearly 1 billion.
One of the world's largest economies.
An aggregate private consumption which is among the highest in the world.
It is a market that annually consumes over 63 million cakes of detergent.
Over 60 million branded edible oil.
Over 30 million TV sets.
Over 40 million
20 million pressure cookers.
15 million motorcycles and scooters.
An economy expanding at over 7% annually.
It is a country of contrasts.
A functioning democracy, the largest in the world.
A pluralistic society.
A rich civilization. And a middle class which is larger than the combined population of France, Germany, and Spain.
Welcome to India, keeping its many trysts with destiny.
In 1947, a dream was envisaged. A promise made. The freedom from colonial powers gave India an opportunity to forge its own destiny.
"50 years later, the dominant image that prevails is that of a country caught in a time warp. Images that dictate a mindset. Images which perpetuate a stereotype.
But the saga of India has been more than the last 50 years. Its civilization has been greater than the sum of its parts. Far more stunning than the sheer visual power of its rituals. Far more moving than the haunting sounds of its mantras.
India is a unique lifestyle. A melange of cultures. And a multi-religious society which learned early on to coexist. From this commitment to pluralism was born its covenant with democracy.
A pledge that for the past 50 years has made India one of the world's most exciting developing countries. The juggernaut of its democracy rolls on inexorably. Always finding a colorful vocabulary. searching for that unique and humane blend between the rights of the individual and the progress of society.
For the past 50 years, India has coped with this effort to give its citizens a sense of fair play, of justice, in the network of its legal systems, comparable with the most emancipated in any democracy.
Offering its nation dwellers a freedom of speech that is vigilantly guarded by a robust fourth estate, allowing contradictory opinions to coexist, putting on guard those who choose to exploit the system.
It is this India, now habitat to almost 1 billion people. This huge and gigantic subcontinent that is attempting to give every citizen a life of economic prosperity and spiritual dignity. It is this India that has now integrated itself to the global economy.
Even as India explores the globe and the world comes beckoning, there is already in place a financial sector of increasing sophistication. An extensive banking network and a well-developed money and capital market.
The Mumbai Stock Exchange. Once the hubble of hectic and frenzied traders with their sign language. Now typing out the trading with the hush of the electronic buzz.
A policy of self-reliant economic progress has helped it make impressive strides in agriculture and set up a mature industrial infrastructure.
The new business environment in India envisages a greater role for the private sector and encourages direct foreign investment. The private sector can now operate and develop projects in roads, oil exploration, ports, telecom, and almost all aspects of national growth.
Liberalization in the 90s has put India on a high growth pathway. But as the decades edge onto a new millennium, India's biggest challenge is to set up an infrastructural platform which will sustain the economic momentum. It is imperative that an accelerated rate of investment in the infrastructure sector is given priority.
The statistics for investment required are staggering. The total investment in the infrastructure sector in the country is estimated at $100 billion by the end of the century, and $175 billion in the first 5 years of the next century.
The major ports in the country find a traffic increase of over 10% per year. And to fight congestion, they will need to be both modernized as well as expanded. This expansion, as well as modernizing alone, calls for an investment of over $6.5 billion in the next 5 years.
The national and state highways are under tremendous strain, with traffic growing at 10% every year. Only 2% of the total length falls in the 4-lane category, and as much as 65% constitutes single-lane roads. The investment for development and expansion in the highways and roads is estimated at around $8 billion in the next 5 years.
India's most ambitious investment requirement is in the power sector, where the resource shortfall is around $225 billion for the next 10 years. If one were to add the investment required in the telecom sector, the investment for exploration of oil and natural gases, railways and airports, there is no doubt that India is the investment destination of the 21st century.